is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff is right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the New York Giants. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Newton on first down. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Set. 180.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Deshaun Hall in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully fit the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's second and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern, because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Let's go.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And this is going to be incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and it's second down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league. That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And a key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first down throw for Newton. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. The New York set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Barkley. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
This is fielded at the 27. And then he goes with a juke. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here's Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darian Thompson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go now.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A solid gain of 15 yards in the sticks move.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for the Giants. 62 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Here's a give to Barkley. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
He'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
180.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. The shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the carry, here's Clement. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw, Newton. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes.
You know, I has to be really happy after that play? The offensive line. To be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big-time play.
Yeah, because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now.
Barkley already showing the ability to transform this giant running game as they come up here on 1st down. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He sets to fire deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 41 yards.
Not the tallest receiver on the field, but he just shouted to admit that the little guy can't go downfield and make a big-time catch on a deep pass because sometimes they'll just out-scrap you for the football.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Dontari Poe able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Looking to throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This is caught. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They come out here in the eye. They're going to look to throw. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. A run, it's Clement, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start with the big game of the weekend, a rematch of the Minnesota Miracle with New Orleans back in town. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Dalvin Cook has scored a touchdown there. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. A touchdown run there for Sony Michel. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Laquan Treadwell, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Here we go.
On third down, Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down.
How many times do we hear from coaches, get north and south as a runner, especially in short yardage situations? I'd say 3rd and 1 counts. That didn't happen there.
Instead, they went backwards. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Now we've got a giant player here, slow to get up after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Giants on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 19.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught, Shepard. And he's got this down to the 35. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Cam, option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. Hey, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
This is fielded at the 7. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now look at.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. Broken tackle. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking for Shepard, and that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Gallman will run it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
All right, here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll set up a throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Back to throw here. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They've certainly got something to build off of. They had the interception last time out.
And now they have to just make sure they're cognizant of not trying too hard for interceptions. Once you get one, it makes you a little more antsy to try and get another one. Now they got to be careful of double moves, different things like that against them. But they like the momentum that they've begun to build.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now let's go.
They'll drop the throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. That nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Gallman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw here. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Kerry Hyder with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Set. 180. Four down.
Out of the gun, Newton. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Set. 180.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Kerry Wynn coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. It's George. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey, we got. All right, here we go.
Here's Gallman. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, it's Newton. And he lost the football. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it.
And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. On first down, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Bunches with a catch over the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Newton on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And it's a fumble. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And New York set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Now back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this deep on the Carolina side of the field. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. 48 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Gallman. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Four down. Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
reception. Here's Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Able to make one man miss, but he will be corralled around the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
– 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Newton Funches has it complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Newton finding Funches for the Panther first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Newton on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. It's caught by Funches. And all the way down to the 29. A fantastic connection that time. Newton to Funches. 54 yards. Now a first down throw for Newton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Newton throwing again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing again is Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. To the air again, Newton. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They They start on the ground with Gallman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.